What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So, feeling a bit under the weather and did have a 17-hour live stream yesterday, so it might sound a little bit different than usual, but we got a news roundup for the TECHROT ENCORE update coming out on Wednesday. Lots of this information is brand new as of like the last week, and was pretty much not on DE's official channels. So this is potentially going to be some of the first times you hear this stuff, which may be pretty important to you for the new update coming out on Wednesday. So let's get right into it. But before we do, make sure you're subbed to this channel, do daily Warframe video uploads, build videos, news videos, all that kind of stuff. You're the right place for Warframe content, and expect a ton of content on that new update on Wednesday. Alright, so let's get right into what we have, because there's actually a lot to cover. Lots of these things are pretty big deals too. So let's start with the first big news drop. That's going to be the fact we're getting additional Netracells search pulses starting on the new update. So since we're getting the new Elite Temporal Archimedia, or Temporal Archimedia in general, DE is giving us a total of 10 Netracells search pulses. But the thing is, if you don't sign in to claim them or use them by the time of the next reset, you will lose them. So let's just read their post right here. When we are introducing the Temporal Archimedia, which will be getting added in March 19th, and just like the Deep Archimedia, accessing Temporal Archimedia will consume 2 Netracells search pulses. So to ensure every Tenno can do them, we will be adding a one-time bonus of 5 Netracells search pulses on the TECHROT ENCORE. The bonus will last until the next weekly reset, Monday, March 24th. This means if you have 0 when the TECHROT ENCORE starts, you'll get 5 extra. So, for example, what I'll be doing on the weekly reset, like basically tomorrow night, I will do my EDA and my 3 normal Netracells, even though they're really boring, because I'm not going to want to do 6 Netracells when the TECHROT ENCORE update comes out, because Netracells are definitely on the boring side. So, yeah, you don't have to do that, but I'm going to do to save some time, because I'll be wanting to spend my time fighting infested liches, not doing boring Netracells. So that's what I recommend to you guys, is that if you have time to do it, do your EDA and your normal Netracells tomorrow, and you'll get bonus Netracells on Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, here's an additional prep for you. We have the exact time of day the Infested TECHROT ENCORE update will come out. It's going to come out at 11 a.m. ET. So I will try to be getting LR5 by the time this update comes out. Additionally, DE did let us know that in the ETA, the new weekly mission, purple shards and green shards, I guess orange shards technically too, will be dropping raw. So you will have not to farm, fuse them up. You'll be able to get green shards from the new weeklies, just like the calendar gives you green shards sometimes too. So yes, you will have an even easier way to access some of these extremely good combined shards that can do things that are a lot more powerful than a lot of the normal shard effects. But yeah, great stuff on there. Expect green Tau shards even too, which should be an extremely exciting drop. Okay, moving on to your next news item. We actually have some info on all the new... Actually, no, this is a pretty important one now. This one's definitely not you weren't expecting, but if you've been looking at the new Resurgence that happened 2 days ago, Nidus and Saren, you might notice there is a weird relic floating around, an additional Lith S16 relic. So basically, if you've played Warframe before, you know that the relic system is how you get prime items. But usually there's relics that have different names. And unfortunately for DE, when they made this new relic for Saren and Nidus, they gave it the exact same name as the already existing relic. So if you look at my inventory right now, I've got a Sevagoth Prime relic that is the Lith S16. But when you look at that, there's another random Lith S16 hanging out right here, and it has entirely different prime parts. So be very careful if you're doing any of these rad shares. I would not recommend doing a rad share for the Lith S16 at all right now, because it could easily someone opening up a Sevagoth relic instead of your Saren relic. And DE has already stated they will fix this on the new update, but yeah, until Wednesday, maybe steer clear of this relic unless you open it with some friends for fun. So yeah, they'll probably rename the new relic to like Lith S22 or something like that, and the Sevagoth one will keep the same name. But yeah, just want to let you guys know that is a big deal if you are doing some rad shares right now to potentially getting screwed over. Okay, now that we've gone over that stuff, some housekeeping stuff, let's go over the 3 new Infested Lich weapons and what they all will do. Let's start with the new Infested Dual Pistols. They have a very complicated long name. These ones are going to spread AoE cold procs on kill.
Here are, when I kill an enemy with it, spores are going to explode and they're going to attach onto other enemies. Look, it's got the cold proc.
Oh, that's wicked.
Pablo, do you want to chat about that?
Yeah, basically it spreads the disease of cold.
Okay, so this is going to be the new Coda dual pistols. They've got pretty decent crit chance, and they're going to spread AoE cold procs. We have the stats on it too, but I'd say maybe worry about it more when it actually comes out. Speaking of another weapon that's to have some really good stats, we got the stats of the Coda Motivore, I think it's called. It's going to be the new Infested Lich Hammer, and it's got some really good base stats. 33% crit chance, 2.5 multi, 21% status chance, and very high base damage. But that's not all about this thing. This thing also has some special effects. If you put IPS mods on it, it will multiply them by 6. So, for example, this Buzzkill mod goes from, I think, 120% damage to 720% damage. And putting that in perspective, Buzzkill is actually a relatively low percentage number versus some of the other elemental mod or IPS mods in this game. Mainly, what I'm thinking is Primed Impact. We've got, where is it? Where's the Primed Impact mod? Primed Heavy Trauma, 165% impact damage. If you multiply that 6, that's to be much stronger than any other mod in the game, percentage-wise. We look at Prime Fever Strike, and Prime Fever Strike gives 165, Prime Heavy Trauma gives 165. So think about like multiplying this by 6, it should be potentially really crazy. And since this is an Infested Lich weapon, you could technically get an impact roll on it, and then that would make that impact mod even stronger. So it's going to be visually changing, depending on if you have IPS, like Impact, Puncture, Slash, and it will also be able to multiply those IPS mods too. So expect some big damage out of this thing. Although I think Impact will probably end up being better than Slash. Or maybe Puncture with Melee Downtree could be good too. But yeah, that's 2 of your new Infested Lich weapons. You've also got the final Infested Lich weapon here, the Coda Base Assist. Now keep in mind, this is a really low quality picture, but we could actually see the probably modded stats and also the effect of this. The new Coda Base Assist amplifies shockwaves with devastating sound, aim and fire at enemies not vulnerable to finishers to swarm them with infested mites. Aim and fire at an enemy open to a finisher to teleport to them. So there is definitely more going on here than we can first see, because we don't know what those mites will do if they're not vulnerable to finishers or mercies. I'm assuming those mites will make them vulnerable to finishers afterwards. But yeah, as it stands right now, you will teleport to an enemy that's vulnerable to mercy finishers, which doesn't sound very important. But enemies that are not vulnerable to finishers can be getting mites on them. It also seems to have an 18% crit chance, 2.2 multiplier, and 40% status chance, which is pretty good. With it also having it looks like a 36 meter damage fall off. Seems pretty decent, although it has a long reload speed of 2.5 seconds. So we haven't seen too much on this thing. Like, we'll see about it on day 1, but as it stands right now, it does not have as high of crit as I was expecting, but it does have very, very good status chance. Another thing to keep in mind for the new update date is that DE didn't announce this at first, but they're actually expanding the tile set to have new rooms. We're getting 20 new rooms for the underground parts of 1999, so expect it to be a pretty big expansion of the tile set, with also, like, it will feel like a new tile set to an extent. It will feel like basically day 1 of a new update with all these new rooms, spicing things up quite a bit. There's even a foam pit in this one with a slide. Looks pretty funny for sure. So yeah, expect that on the new update on the 19th. And additionally, let's get some last couple details in here. People have been asking about the stance Forma in Warframe. We have, we're getting the Omniform update where we can get universal polarities, but these stance Forma, they don't really have as much of a use. They're like universal polarities, but only for stance. And Pablo has clarified for us that the stance Forma is going to remain, not useless, but it's to remain unchanged. So someone asked, hey, are you going to change stance Forma? And Pablo said nothing will happen. They are untouched. So you could just put that in the dirt. There is no changes to stance Forma. Let's get out last couple things here. We have a extremely, extremely low quality video of a new ability, a new attack for Excalibur. If you watch my top five frames video of who's getting buffed, Excalibur is getting even more buffed in that video because Excalibur, sorry for the video quality, this is what Pablo posted. Excalibur is getting a new heavy attack with a very large energy wave hitbox. And yes, this is the only video of this. It's such low quality, but as you can see, a very large hitbox on that heavy attack. And as I stated in my Excalibur mention in that video, these Exalted Energy Blades go through walls. So, yes, expect this to be very broken with melee influence, and to be one of the things that you see a lot of players using quite often to kill enemies through walls. So, very, very nice little buff, not even a little big buff to Excalibur there, as he will have a new heavy attack projectile. And I think that's basically it for what I wanted to cover today, guys. A couple little things here and there, like they've shown all the bundle prices for the new proto skins, 880 plat for all 4 of them, but they did not show any bundle involving the new Scaldra weapons. So as me, someone want to be LR5 on day 1, I am making sure that my Hex rep is completely maxed out, because if they are going to revolve rep to buy them, and there's no bundle to purchase them with plat, the more rep you have, the easier you should be able to get them on day 1. So that's a big thing too. But beyond that, yeah, it's the home stretch to get to that last little bit of the Infested Lich update, guys. So enjoy your bonus Netracells, enjoy your purple shards for the new ETA, enjoy those new TECHROT weapons, they seem really fun, and keep your eyes peeled when you're doing a Lith S16 Relic. You might potentially get screwed over by a troll. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a great weekend, and yeah, enjoy those pre-sold supported videos, guys. Take it easy. Peace!